Hello there, folks. I didn't really want to get bogged down in this ultimate distraction story, but one of the aims of the channel here is to call out the right-wing media. All I've been hearing about over the last few days is either stories about the missing submersible or the Year 8 student who is branded despicable by their teacher. If you were to listen to the likes of the Daily Mail or GB News, you will have heard the pile of horseshit story that the kid was called despicable because she rejected a fellow pupil's request to be identified as a cat. It transpires there is no pupil in the school identifying as a cat. Shock horror. As confirmed here on the Schools Week website. So what is going on? Well, it would appear the audio has been interpreted in the most extreme way imaginable by the media to carry on their culture war. Unfortunately, this story has been picked up by absolutely bloody everybody on the right, from Piers Morgan to Jeremy Kyle to Nick Ferrari, and that's who we turn to now. Now, Ferrari have been banging on about this all morning, like the world is coming to an end. So now we know this is a total non-story because nobody was identifying as a cat. I just want you to note the level of disrespect Ferrari has for this gentleman who called into his LBC show to talk about it. Sam from Cheltenham is an art psychotherapist, an occupation I am in little doubt he had to train long and hard to be. And I am certain he has aided the lives of many children along the way. Indeed, this man is a force for good, as opposed to the couch potato Nick Ferrari, who has never done a proper day's work in his life, and I'd be shocked if he has ever helped anybody. Let's have a listen to this awful chap disrespecting one of life's good guys for absolutely no reason other than his sheer ignorance.
As children, Sam's in Cheltenham. What do you do for a living, Sam?
Hi, I'm an art psychotherapist.
And do you work in schools?
Yes, I work in primary schools and secondary schools and SEN, special needs schools.
If I were to contact you to seek your help because I have a pupil who's identifying, a 14-year-old girl who's identifying as a horse, what would you say to me?
Yeah. Well, what I would say is that children are complex. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some of them
they don't come in horse shape,
see the world completely differently to others, and they might have neurodiversity. So the most important thing is to allow them to explore that, see what it is, and support them in
but Sam, they're disrupting
who they are.
Sam, they're disrupting the rest of the class. The child is.
How are they disrupting the class?
Because the child is neighing every time I talk to him, and obviously the rest of the class roars with laughter.
Well, yeah, exactly. I would do exactly what that is. I would probably support them with therapy sessions and use the therapy room as the place that they can actually, explore who this horse is.
I'm trying to teach this lad history, and he just neighs at every time I talk to him about the French Revolution. He neighs at me. How am I going to teach him about the cause and effect of the French Revolution if I've got a child who thinks he's a horse?
The solution to deal with that difficult behaviour, it doesn't matter if it's neighing or shouting out or calling names, it's all the same. It's driven by that child having some kind of need or something that isn't being fulfilled. So I would support them in the therapy.
I know this boy, okay?
Yeah.
He's a naughty boy. He's just found a new way.
Naughty boy.
He's always been. I've known this kid since he was 11. He's always been the disruptive boy at the back of the class.
Perhaps he has undiagnosed ADHD, maybe. So I would do an assessment for ADHD.
Is there no such thing as naughtiness anymore?
Well, what does that mean?
I asked you a question. I've just explained what naughtiness is, Sam. I don't know what you get. I've known this boy since he was 11. He's always at the back of the class. He's always joshing on his mates. He never does his homework. He's just, as I was at school until one teacher got hold of me, he's a naughty boy. You don't accept that you can be a naughty boy.
Yeah, you can be naughty because your behaviour is challenging, because there's a reason why.
Yeah, you're a boy. You're approaching a teenage, and you're just a disruptive boy. Boys are. Clearly you weren't, and credit to you, sir. But I was a disruptive boy.
Yeah. Okay, Nick, I understand what you're saying. There is healthy behaviour, not disruptive. But when children are disruptive in the classroom, there is a reason.
Yeah, they're playing the fool.
And you try. Yeah, but why are they playing the fool?
Because I used to get attention. It's so simple, Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
I played the fool. No. I played the fool because it made the class laugh, and I felt affirmed as a result of that. So I felt great. I wasn't suffering some kind of mental disease. I didn't need hours and hours of therapy. I just liked making people laugh in class.
Exactly. I got it, Nick. What that child needs is attention.
Yeah?
He needs to be seen. That's what I do. In my therapy room, all I do...
I don't need a therapy room. I don't need a therapy room. I needed... I'll tell you what happened. I need Mr. Calderwood, who was the teacher at my school, who had actually taught my brother, who was very intelligent, by the way, and was a good lad. And he took one look at me, and he weighed me up immediately, and he said, I know you're not your brother. I know what you're up to, and it's going to stop on my watch. And by God, it did.
So, yes, discipline is Ferrari's solution to everything. Forget about the guy who's actually trained in this stuff to be compassionate towards kids. Discipline. It's just pathetic. It really is.
That's what I needed.
One way of dealing with it.
And it worked.
Shutting that child down. Yeah, shutting that child down, making them scared is one way of dealing with it, but that's just going to cause them problems in later life.
Scared. I don't like the word scared. I respected him. I wasn't. Well, was I scared? I respected. I knew I'd been called out, Sam. I knew I'd been called out.
Yeah,
he got the message.
And you stopped doing it.
I did.
Because it worked for you. It worked for you, and that's great. But for some children, that doesn't work. Some children are not. They don't.
But where is? Do you honestly think a Mr. Calderwood exists now? The teacher who dares say to someone, "Right, John, you're not a horse. Pack it in, lad. Pack it in now." Or you're going outside and we'll go off and see the head teacher and then we'll get your mum in.
For some children, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. And then they go to adults and they become, they might get into crime.
Well, we don't have many horses running around. So a child who thinks he's a horse is now a criminal, Sam.
What a disingenuous turd. Twisting words. He always does this. It's just so vile and unpleasant. Just think about this. This guy's called in to give knowledge of his profession, what children need. So this is what I despise about Ferrari, right? And he'll never get it. I have a brother with Down syndrome, and when he left primary school and went into year 7, he went to a school where the headmaster was ex-military, and he treated my brother like he was naughty. And that's all he did. It was just discipline, discipline, discipline. If I tell him off enough, if I isolate him enough, he'll stop being naughty. But he wasn't naughty at all. It's just his character. Because he's many years behind the other kids. And he likes to make his peers laugh. And that piece of shit made my brother's year 7 as miserable as possible. Until we moved him to a different school from year 8 onwards. I used to go in to try and wake him up. Because he's 13 years younger than me. I used to go in to try and wake him up to go to this school. And he used to say, no, I'm not getting up. I hate it. As soon as he moved, as soon as he was out of that environment, where everything was about discipline and being scared of the teachers, he thrived. And he loved school. So people like Ferrari make me sick, because that's all they see is naughtiness and discipline.
That's not what I said, Nick. What I'm saying is,
they turn to crime.
You're not letting me speak. Can I speak?
Please, but you did say they turn to crime, mate.
Someone can turn to crime if their whole life let's say someone is not being allowed to, express themselves, be who they are. They're being shut down. They got angry. They get resentful against the teachers. They drop out of school because the teachers, shout at them all the time. They don't get an education. They don't get a job. And they've still got that anger. They might, start doing things that get them on the wrong path.
Like present a radio show. I must say, Sam, I've really enjoyed our conversation. I'm so late to the news. Good luck to what you do, sir. 8:48, LBC headlines, Thomas Watts.
I mean, have you heard a more pathetic display? What does he get out of that? I find that grossly offensive, actually. So this is just someone calling up to give the knowledge of his expertise in what he does in his field to help struggling children through. And that is the response you get. You get gaslit by somebody who's never done anything decent for anybody. Just sits on his arse gobshiting away. And all because someone's concocted some story, some nonsense garbage story about a child identifying as a cat. Ugh. Makes my skin crawl. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.